Mark? Hello, Mark, can you hear me? Hello, Mark? Mark, are you there? Everybody bear with me. We lost Mark. I think he's going to log back in. And so this is John Marling, Pulse Research. I apologize for the delay. Somehow Mark lost his connection, and I presume he'll be logging back in momentarily. Okay, Mark, you're back in. I'll unmute you.
Yeah, sorry about that. My 11-year-old is also doing schoolwork, so we're competing with bandwidth here at 40 Sabrina Brook Avenue or Lane in Westfield.
No problem. So if you'd kindly kick us off with some introduction.
Absolutely.
We'll take it from there.
Hello everyone. Long time no talk to. John, we have a daily 8:45, and so we were talking early this morning, and we have been talking about Pulse Research. I did share with the team this morning, John, that we had over 750 completed surveys. The team, as you know, this survey is unique for Pulse because instead of looking out 12 months, it's really taking a look at COVID-19 and the impact to the local businesses in our community, and taking the Pulse engine and applying that methodology and research, and to give us a tool that over the coming months we can be even more aware of what our local businesses might need and how we can help them. So with that being said, John, I want to dive in and kind of give the rules of driving for this presentation. I'm not sure if you're going to mute everyone, and then can they unmute themselves? Tell me how you want us to make that work.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I've got limited bandwidth also, so if you turn off your videos, please, and mute your audio. And if you have a question, just unmute and just shout out the question. Don't worry about interrupting me, okay?
You guys will
see.
So
on behalf of the Pulse team,
you'll see a little microphone at the bottom, and little microphone at the bottom left, and a video camera to mute and turn off the video. And I will shut up now, John.
Okie dokie, thank you. So on behalf of the Pulse team, I want to thank you very, very much for the opportunity to assist and support you. And we're going to do everything we possibly can, because now it's just totally unprecedented, challenging, flat out ugly times. And I think you will totally agree with me that the impact has been, literally catastrophic in decrease in advertising revenues. But I will submit to you that the primary reason that one of your businesses has canceled or cut back on their advertising is the uncertainty. I mean, it's just human nature. They look to, tomorrow, next week, next month, and it's just unprecedented. Nobody knows what's going to be happening. And because of that uncertainty, that fear, the human nature is, well, let's cut back on our advertising, because it's easier to cut back on advertising, frankly, than lay off people. They've got fixed costs like, their rent, et cetera. And so with that in mind, we got an email, about a month or so ago from one of our clients, and it was very, very motivating. I put it up here on the screen. She said a current shopping survey would really help our local businesses, and in her words, who are freaking out right now. But she also said it would help us be viewed as that trusted advisor here to help them navigate through these unprecedented times. I mean, she said it beautifully. And that really motivated Pulse to quickly field a shopping survey that, as Mark just said, instead of focusing on what do you plan to buy over the next 12 months, to make it more usable, more actionable, more relevant, what do you and your household plan to buy over the next 3 months, so that we're able to provide you with information for your businesses that will be extremely helpful and valuable, because they don't know what's going to be happening. And this is a unique opportunity. I've been in this business a long time, and I think you'll agree with me. Now more than ever, every one of your businesses, because of the uncertainty, will welcome current information specifically about the next 3 months purchasing plans for their business category and the products and the services they sell. And the reason for that, once again, is they don't know. And you have the information now for them in your Pulse program. And as Mark just said, you got over 700 completed surveys. And putting that into perspective, when they do a national political poll, they use 800 to 1,200. You've got over 750 just of your audience. And I want to clarify, if I might, this is not a market survey, it's better. This is a survey of your audience, both of the Republican and of the Reminder and your other publications and your website, because we made a concerted effort to make sure that all of the invitations to take the survey went out to all of your various audiences. So the data, the shopping information, is absolutely relative and projectable from your audiences in total for each one of your individual audiences. And by the way, the national survey that Pulse has been doing, we have over 25,000 completed surveys. That's unprecedented. Never in the history of this industry has there been a survey that has had that level of participation. And the last time we did the survey for you, Mark, I think we struggled to get over 400, right?
Yes, that's accurate, John. And plus, when we started this process several weeks ago, correct me if I'm wrong, you were at 17,000 total surveys. So obviously that's escalating rapidly.
That is, and the part of the reason is people want to help the local businesses. We're all in this together. And so asking them to help the local businesses by sharing in the survey their next 3 months purchasing plans has been very, very, very reinforcing and encouraging. So let me pause here. Anybody have any questions about how we did the research and the focus of the research? So I want to make sure everybody's comfortable and motivated by what a unique opportunity of information you've got for your businesses. Okay. So now let's talk about some specific recommendations. I put in my old ad director hat, if I might. These are 3 recommendations that I would encourage each one of you to do, because I think in the real world, COVID impacted world, this will help each one of you and ultimately your businesses. Recommendation number 1. You know, I had the privilege a couple years ago to meet each one of you. You guys got friends. Many of the businesses you've been working with for many, many years, they're your good friends. Friends help friends. My number 1 recommendation is make sure that you share with each one of those businesses the opportunity in potential customers in the pipeline for their business category over the next 3 months. They're going to be so thankful and appreciative, because as Carolyn Beth said, they're freaking out. It just keeps getting so confusing. And now you've got information of your local audience, on the purchasing plans once again for the next 3 months. So recommendation number one is share the information right away with every single one of your existing businesses. Why? Because you do not want to get that phone call or email that they say, well, I've decided to cut. I've decided to cancel my advertising because, you know, times are tough, economic uncertainty, blah, blah, blah. Let's make sure they totally realize and understand and are aware of the opportunity that you can deliver for them based on current research. Number one, easy to do. You guys are all familiar with the teaser. The teaser now more than ever is so important, so beneficial, and so frankly encouraging for every one of your businesses. It's the big number. It's the big number in the next 3 months of potential customers in the pipeline for that particular business. Once again, as a reminder, how do we calculate that? We just take the percentage from your survey who said in the next 3 months their household plans to shop at, and in this example, a building supply store, times your various audience options to give you that number. How do you use that number? You pick up, you call on the phone and share with them. I understand how uncertain times are. We decided to do something about it. We asked our audience on your behalf, you plan to shop at a lumberyard. Here's some good news. We've got almost 5,500 households who plan to shop at a lumberyard. Would you like to know more about their current next 3 months plans? For decking, for plywood, for windows, okay, for fencing. Because remember, people are working at home now. Business. So recommendation number one is every single existing customer, simple teaser, a very effective, reinforcing, encouraging conversation that they will appreciate because it's positive. They don't realize how much opportunity is out there. We also asked in your survey of your audience, what information would you like to see from your local businesses? And look at this, just black and white. Tell us what services you're offering. Are you offering any new services? What are your hours? Do you have online services? What are your employment needs? Every business should be communicating to their customers and potential customers the status and updated information on that business. So not only share with them the number of households you reach for their business category that are in the pipeline, but also share with them suggestions on communicating the update, the status of their business. Another part of my recommendation to retaining business, you're all familiar with the break-even calculator. I think it's now more important than ever. Why? Because of the unprecedented financial uncertainty. Every single business is struggling right now. More than ever, we want to make sure they understand how few customers they need to sustain that campaign with you. In other words, retention. And I'm going to go live on your site in just a second, kind of as a reminder, how to get them engaged so that they figure out with you, with this simple little tool, how few customers they need to pay for campaign. So for instance, I shared an example with a teaser, about 5,500 households going to shop at a lumberyard, and getting their input on what's a customer worth, what's your cost of goods to figure out the net customer value. And in this example you see on the screen, with a $700 net customer value, $12,000 campaign, all they need is 18 customers. Just 18 out of 5,500 in the example for a lumberyard. Bottom line is, let's help them understand and realize that to sustain that campaign with you is very doable, realistic, because it doesn't take that many customers. Get the conversation away from the price and back to the reality of how few customers they need out of the total you have available. And I'm going to say it again, and you're going to hear me say it, until you're sick of me. Share with them how many households you reach are going to buy. Because I'll be blunt. Back when I was there a couple of years ago, any business we went to, they'd have a pretty good idea what was going to happen in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, et cetera. Why? They had history. They could project off of what happened last year, right? They can't do that anymore. This is all unprecedented, unknown. And so this information now, more than ever, is so helpful to these businesses because it shares, it creates an understanding and awareness of what's out there.
John, if I could,
Recommendation number
for a
2,
moment.
jump right in, just unmute yourself if you have any questions, comments, or anything you'd like to discuss further.
just a quick comment, John,
Yes.
just to refresh everyone's memory, the audience information that we provided for John and his team, it's actually not audience, it's households. So I just want to make that very clear. Our latest audited household counts and reach, not audience. So remember, you're using, because this is per household information, we used per household reach. But recognize that we obviously have a much larger audience based on multiple readership, but I just want to be very clear about that and how our, in this case, circulation of the Republican, for example, and distribution of the reminder have been utilized within the research.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And when we get into I'll create a couple teasers and flyers in just a moment, and just any questions on the audience, but it is based upon households. And the reason for that is the household, once again, is the primary purchasing entity. The household goes to a lumberyard. The household buys a car, et cetera. The household, engages with a realtor. Recommendation number 2, let's get back some of that lost and canceled advertising. And the example I chose for us this afternoon is a furniture store. And the reason I chose a furniture store as the example or talking point this afternoon is because we've done a comparative analysis of the COVID shopping plans compared back to the survey we completed in January. There are 51 categories I'm going to show you in just a second that have gone up in shopping because of COVID. But there are a lot of categories like furniture store that have gone down. In fact, the furniture store from the January survey to the survey we're doing right now has gone down 50%. But I'm using this as an example to make a point. Even though the purchasing has gone down 50% and that furniture store is probably closed right now, there's still a huge opportunity. As an example, with 10,000 circulation, to keep the math simple, 9.6% of 10,000 household circulation is 960 households in the pipeline who plan to buy furniture. I don't know about you, but if I owned a furniture store and I was struggling, that would be welcome news. That would make me do the happy dance that there's 960 households that plan to buy furniture. And I would start advertising again because I would want to get a larger share of that. Because you all know from your marketing classes, you continue advertising even during bad times because in many cases your competitors aren't as enlightened and they stop advertising, and it gives you the opportunity to have your message get more impact and increase your share. And so I'm going to suggest going back, you're out working from home right now, and I'll show you in just a second how you can use your Pulse tools working from home. But the flyer is a tremendous tool and resource to create that awareness, get them engaged, get them excited, get them positive. Because the flyer, as you know, has the big number, what's in it for them. The example I just used, 960 households plan to shop at a furniture store. But in your survey, we also asked your audience, your households, what do you plan to buy for your home? So we've got living room furniture, dining room furniture, recliner chair, etc. This gives them some insight into what to be promoting. Because maybe recliner chair purchasing plans are up significantly because people are at home. You see, this is the information, the catalyst. You can be that consultant, and nobody else has this information. This is gold. They don't have the information. Radio doesn't have it. Television doesn't have it. You have it to help and assist your local businesses. So you've got the flyer. And once again, I'll show you how to use it from home in a Zoom webinar or live with them. I would also suggest when you're going back, to get back that lost advertising, to once again share with them how few customers they need for re-engaging on a consistent campaign with you. And we're going to do it live in just a second because it's very, very important to get their input so they got their buy-in. Okay? Any comments on recommendation number 2? Okay, recommendation number 3. As I just mentioned, in the COVID shopping survey, Whole New World, there are many business categories that have an increase in shopping because people are at home and other changes in our lifestyle because of COVID. The categories relating to home are up, like a lumber yard, remodeling contractor, home garden service, landscaper, etc. These are the categories that I would suggest you contact because they are the ones who have a much higher probability of advertising, particularly when you share with them the significant number of households you reach, who are going to use a remodeling contractor and what they plan to do. I was doing an engagement this morning, and they were just blown away by the number of households reached who plan to remodel their kitchen. Why? People are at home now. They're living with that kitchen 24/7, 365. It's become a bit more urgent, to do something about it. So recommendation number 3 is contact businesses that have an increase, and we've made it really simple for you. We have put together a list on your Pulse site that you can quickly access these business categories that have an increase. Recommendation number 4, you guys got the Metro Creative Spec Ad program. That is now in your Pulse program, that when you're creating a teaser, a flyer, a one-page, or you can create through your Pulse program a campaign for any one of the businesses. We've got a partnership with Metro Creative Graphics, and now the spec ad program of theirs is accessible in multiple areas throughout your Pulse program. Recommendation number 5. We've been continually making changes and enhancements to your Pulse program. And about 2 months ago, we put together a Pulse training and certification program. It's a very simple but very thorough step-by-step going through the Pulse tools and program with a little explanation video for each one of the steps, each one of the functions, and then there's some assignments on each one to kind of give you some hands-on, and we'll go for that in just a second. But my recommendation is, and this came from one of our clients, in fact, your sister publications in New Jersey, Kurt Van Toski, he has required that each one of his team members, because they're at home, do the Pulse training and certification. He's been very, very positive about the benefits of the program. Okay, now, before we go live on your program, you're working from home. For many of you, it's a whole new world. For many of you, it's a bit challenging. You got a dog, you got kids. We put into the program some new features and functionality to enhance, to help and assist you engage with businesses over the phone, by email, with a Zoom webinar, because you don't have the opportunity to be there with them in person. So let's go live, but before I do, any questions or feedback, just turn on your microphone and ask away. Or Mark, if you have anything to add before we go live, please do.
Just one quick comment, John. You wouldn't have found private tutor at the top needs list if we were in a COVID-19 environment. I think that proves the validity of how shopping behavior has obviously changed.
And I don't know if you noticed, but a neighborhood mom and pop grocery store up 130%. People are going to their local grocery store, the little mom and pops, to avoid the crowds. So if you got any neighborhood mom and pop grocery stores, they're a very good candidate. Okay, so no questions or comments. Let's go live, and I'll kind of point out some things in the Pulse program to help you working from home and some of the new things we build in for you to access some of the opportunities in your COVID research, okay? So as you're well aware, as a reminder, each of your Pulse sales tools right at your fingertips, okay? Here's the Pulse training and certification program. You just click on it, and then what you do is you just, for each of you individually, you just click on the start training, and what that'll do is it'll set it up for you. Well, I'll click on it right now here, okay? So I've got an account set up. And what it'll do is set up the certification program for you, okay? And as you can see here, as I'm scrolling through it, it's very usable and it relates to the real world. Where do the numbers come from? Kind of a overview of the information, prospecting. We've got a call planner program, teaser, getting the appointment, et cetera. And each one of the steps has about a 3 to 4 minute video along with some training assignments to get a little hands-on experience. So we would strongly suggest clicking on and setting up the Pulse certification. It's the bottom of the screen here, okay? So now let's take a quick look at some of the things that are available for you. If you want to find a business really fast, you just type in their name right here, create a teaser, you pick up the phone, and you've got the information to start the conversation. What's in it? The benefits for them. But click here on Business Guide, COVID-19 Business Guide. And what this will provide you is 5 list. I took the liberty of putting together a list of the top 25 business categories that if I was an ad rep again, that I would recommend you contact. So as you see on there, the mom and pop grocery store, you see businesses relating to home. And I put in some businesses that even though they're down, represent a significant opportunity. Like bank is down 18%, but they're still, in this example, it's national data on this screen, 23% said yes, they plan to change or get a new bank. That's a big deal. Same thing with a realtor. 4.2% plan to change or get a new realtor. Once again, big opportunity. And so under my suggested 25 is a broader list for you. These are the categories Pulse suggests that you focus on to get additional business. And the ones that are highlighted in bold are the business categories that are up because of COVID. Okay, and there's other ones we put on the list because they relate to home or other categories that are important to you. So now, just as a quick reminder here, let's go to remodeling contractor. You just click on find, and up will come a list of businesses. And then we'll just tag one here. Oops, it says my internet is unstable. That's not good. And as you know from your program, you can change the zip code to your own focus area, or you put in the specific community name. I don't know if you guys have seen the call planner. It's kind of cool. And I don't know what you have, there, to use. Did you use Salesforce, Mark?
We are not, John. We are not in Salesforce.
Okay, let me show you what we got. It's there available for you if you like it. And so what you do is you click on like remodeling contractor. And so to help you be organized and focused, all you have to do is add to call planner. What you're doing is you're building your own prospect list, okay? So you click on call planner, and then you come up here to the top, you click on call planner, and right at your fingertips is your own call plan. These are your prospects, but what's cool about it is you can just come right over here and you can click on view teaser. So you can have your call plan up in the phone and just start making calls. And it gives you what to say. We know you're busy. Obviously the world has changed because of, the impact of COVID. We decided to do something about it. We asked the questions you would ask. We asked you plan to use a remodeling contractor. We've got almost 4,000 households that are in the pipeline in the next 3 months who plan to use a remodeling contractor? Would you like to know more about the remodeling plan, such as remodeling a bathroom, remodeling a kitchen, adding a room, etc.? And so many times now they say yes. Why? Because these businesses are struggling. Now more than ever, this information has the impact, and they so appreciate it. And so you've got the words to say on the phone. We've updated the email to make it more COVID relative. We've got the traditional teaser, which is kind of fun. That's one thing I do a lot, is I just do a cut and paste here, Control C, and put it right into an email. Because then in the email, it's got the big number. And as Mark pointed out a moment ago, all of the audience information options have been updated here. And so they're right at your fingertips, giving you total flexibility. If you want to put in a custom audience, no problem. You just type in the name, what do you want to call it, and the number of households. Okay? So we click here on Republican Print and Web. And so you've got, once again, the information for them that gets their attention, starts the conversation, but more important, these businesses are facing and experiencing uncertainty. You've got information from the just completed COVID shopping impact survey for the next 3 months of your audience. This is of your audience right here, 4.8% right now. Plan in the next 3 months to use a remodeling contractor. 4.8% times the 82,000 households you reach with the Republican your website is almost 4,000 households. That is very encouraging news to a remodeling contractor. Now to quick look at the flyer, you just click here on flyer. It automatically creates a flyer for you. Here's my suggestion, you're working from home. The address of the flyer, it's a web page. You just highlight it like I've done here, you copy it, and you can put an email. You know, say, I thought you might like to know, we got almost 4,000 households. We asked about remodeling bathroom, remodeling kitchen, you know, adding a room, etc. Would you like to see the information? Yeah, I'd love to. Are you by your computer? Yes. I'll email it over to you. Tell me when you get it. They get it, they click on this link, and guess what? Up comes this presentation on their screen. You also can get a free Zoom account. Maybe you've already done that. You can call them ahead of time with a teaser, you know, say, you know, I've got some good news, some encouraging news. We've got almost 4,000 households in the pipeline. Would you like to know more? I'd love to. And set up a Zoom webinar with them tomorrow. And then in the Zoom webinar, they can see your screen and you can walk them right through it. Would you like to know more? You click here and it takes them right into the research. What else would you like to know? Okay, well, we build garages. Let's see what the opportunity is for garages. Okay, we build outbuildings. Okay, you know, we also do, let's see, there's tiny homes on here if I remember right. Add a home office. Okay, you get the idea. But the point is you are the consultant. You've got unique information. Nobody else, once again, has this. And so with the business, you can assist and help them identify where the opportunities are in the real world impacted by COVID. And then you just flip update, and it updates, you know, the report, the business plan, if you will, and you can help them decide where they should be putting their focus, you know, in a campaign. You know, might be on adding, you know, remodeling that kitchen once again. And so just as a reminder, the flyer program is probably the simplest, easiest, fastest way to engage with the businesses working from home, because you can either email them the presentation or you can do a Zoom webinar with them. Same thing for the one-page presentation, by the way, okay? So let me go back here if I might. So click here and go back to the home page. And I want to come down here to the closing break-even calculator. Once again, as a reminder, I personally think This little tool, this little resource is so valuable today. It's kind of like a little role play. You know, so we're meeting with that remodeling contractor. What's the average job? Well, it's about $10,000, okay? Okay, and let's do it over 13 weeks, by the way. What is your, oh, the campaign, I'm sorry. The campaign is, let's say, $6,000, okay? And what's your customer value? The average job, $25,000, okay? What's your cost of goods? Well, about 85%, okay? Okay, so your customer, got a cue there for third week. Okay, and so your customer value, looks like I screwed it up by putting in, there we go. And so their net customer value is $3,750, okay? All they need is just 2 customers over 13 weeks to pay for the campaign. And so my point being here is, times are tough. It's a very, very challenging times for your businesses. Let's help them understand how few customers they need for a consistent campaign with you. That's either retaining the campaign, not canceling, or getting back, you know, if they cut back or they canceled, or targeting, like in this example here, a remodeling contractor, you know, because of the increase in business with COVID, and sharing with them the opportunity and then how few customers they need, okay? Also, as a quick reminder, to do a full presentation, obviously you click here. And this brings up the 1 page. Come on, internet. There we go. Okay, and you just choose a business. And that's who we got here. Kelly Cradle Lumber. Select your audience. I'll do this really, really fast. Just use the reminder here. Okay, select an ad package. Put in, let's say, 12,000. 13 weeks. You're pretty familiar with the program. And so just click on your various lumberyard opportunities. We also asked in your survey about use of Facebook, about use of radio, email. We also asked, what automotive sites do you go to? What real estate sites? Okay, what real estate rental sites do you go to? What employment sites, to show them what they're missing if they're not also promoting with you. So we've got all that information updated for you, okay? You can do the return on investment once again, and just a reminder here, we got a $12,000 campaign. So 5-time return would be $60,000. Ad readership. Look at this, 58% of your audience, this is from your survey, either bought or sought more information on an item advertised in your paper. You can once again create a spec ad. You just click here on Save Presentation. And as a reminder, you can email the address of your presentation, or you can click right on here on email, and it embeds it into an email for you, and you can obviously change the wording here. In addition to that, just as a reminder, on your 1 page, and let's say you're doing this over a Zoom webinar or you've emailed it to them, you can click here right within the 1 page and bring up your break-even calculator. Benefit, showing them how few customers they need to pay for a campaign. Okay? And so that's an overview of your program, but more important, what is so special, what is so neat? Obviously, COVID has had an incredible, total, absolute impact on everybody, everything. You now have in your site, live, right now, information that every one of your businesses, every one, I can't think of a business category that hasn't been impacted. We have for you in your program the information that they will so appreciate because they don't know. They're looking into that abyss of, uncertainty. You got the information now to share with them. Friends help friends. You are the local paper. You're in this together. Help them realize there is hope. There is opportunity for their businesses. So in closing, I want to say thank you so much I'll give you my email again. It's Marling, M-A-R-L-I-N-G, @paper.net. That's Marling @paper.net. And I'd love to hear from you. I'll help you in any way I possibly can. So Mark, is there anything you'd like to add or any questions from anybody?
Well, first I wanted to thank you, John, for reaching out to me and offering Pulse to go in and do this research on behalf of Pulse Research, yourself, and in light of this uncertain times. I had a quick question for you regarding the certification. John, if you were to estimate how much time to become fully certified and complete all the lessons?
I think there's 12 steps. And so it takes like from 6 to 10 hours in total. Most people do it over a 2-week period.
Got it. I just wanted to be clear on that. Any other questions from anyone on?
Happy to answer any questions or send me an email, marling@paper.net.
John, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be in touch. Otherwise, enjoy your spectacular 80-degree plus weather in Oregon.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And hopefully you won't get snowflakes.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody. Be well and take care.